Listening Diagnostic Test.
Listen to a conversation between a student and a university employee.
Hi, are you the right person to talk to about changing my roommate?
Yes, but if you live in a residence on campus, I can tell you right now that there's a very long waiting list to do that. I doubt you'd be able to move in with a new roommate before the end of the school year.
That long? When I spoke to my resident advisor about the situation, she suggested it would be easy and quick to switch roommates.
Seriously? But the RAs know that there's a waiting list. What did your RA say exactly?
Well, my roommate has a friend living in McMaster residence who wants to move in with her, and my RA suggested that I could apply to switch rooms with that friend. So she and my roommate would share, and I'd share with that friend's current roommate. Did you follow all that?
Yeah, it makes sense, and it also clears up why your resident advisor said it would be easy to switch. If you've already found a person who agrees to switch rooms, then you don't have to wait. Before you get too excited, though, let me just check the computer to make sure there are no issues. Can I see your student identity card? Okay, let me just type your ID number into the computer. I can see from your record that you specifically requested a single-sex dormitory. But McMaster, the dorm you're thinking of moving into, is coeducational. Each floor is segregated, but there would be male students living on the floors above and below yours.
I'd rather not live in a co-ed dorm. But if my floor is single-sex, I guess it'll be fine. Plus, it's closer to campus than my current dorm. So yeah, no problem about that.
Okay, so to get this done, I'll need all of you to come in and fill out the paperwork. That's both you and your roommate plus your roommate's friend and her roommate. If you can all come in today, we could have everything sorted out by Friday.
So soon? Great. I'll round everyone up and we'll be back before the end of the day. How late are you open?
Today we're open until 5. Sorry, no, it's until 6 today.
That's great. Thanks so much for your help.
Question 1. Why does the woman go to see the man? Question 2. What can be inferred about the man when he says this? The RAs know that there's a waiting list. What did your RA say exactly? Question 3. Listen again to part of the conversation.
Well, my roommate has a friend living in McMaster residence who wants to move in with her, and my RA suggested that I could apply to switch rooms with that friend. So she and my roommate would share, and I'd share with that friend's current roommate. Did you follow all that?
Why does the student say this?
Did you follow all that?
Question 4. What do the speakers say about McMaster residence? Question 5. How quickly could the woman move into her new residence? Listen to part of a lecture in a sports science class.
While running for sport or recreation is undoubtedly hard work, many distance runners report a beneficial side effect of running beyond just an increase in their fitness level, the so-called runner's high. This powerful and positive sensation can occur when a person exercises strenuously for a long period, taking his or her body beyond a certain threshold. In some cases, runner's high can be so powerful that it allows a runner to push beyond his or her physical limits and keep running despite experiencing pain. There is even anecdotal evidence of people continuing to run despite developing a stress fracture or having a heart attack. The reasons why runner's high occurs is still being researched, but studies have shown that one factor is the action of certain chemicals on the runner's brain. The body naturally produces a variety of chemicals that can cause joy and other positive emotions. These chemicals include endorphins, serotonin, and dopamine. The studies demonstrated that exercising hard for a prolonged period of time, and that means any type of vigorous exercise, not just running, causes the body to produce more of these chemicals, which leads to the feeling of runner's high. Some of these chemicals also have the effect of blocking pain, which explains why people experiencing the high can keep exercising through physical discomfort. In addition to the physical factors, psychological effects are also thought to contribute to the feeling of runner's high. These factors are more subjective and therefore more difficult to assess or prove scientifically. Unrelated studies, however, have proven that people gain increased feelings of satisfaction from working hard or achieving a difficult goal. And there's no reason to doubt that exercise can lead to the same feelings of satisfaction. So, what are the evolutionary origins of runner's high? There is no consensus on this, but one plausible theory is that the origins lie deep in human history. The effect of runner's high brings obvious advantages, and it is believed to have benefited the survival of early pre-agricultural humans who would have had to cover long distances when hunting or foraging for food. Even now, hunter-gatherer societies in some regions are known to take part in persistence hunting. This is a form of hunting in which animals are tracked and followed for hours over very long distances until they become so exhausted that they collapse from exhaustion and are easy to kill. In such circumstances, runner's high can enable hunters to keep running after the prey animal even though they feel pain, tiredness, or hunger. Interestingly, many species of animals that are adapted specifically for running seem to experience runner's high too, which reinforces the theory that it developed because it provided an evolutionary advantage.
Question 6. What does the professor mainly discuss? Question 7. The professor discusses some effects of runner's high. Indicate which of these effects he mentions. Question 8. Listen again to part of the lecture. What does the professor imply?
The studies demonstrated that exercising hard for a prolonged period of time, and that means any type of vigorous exercise, not just running, causes the body to produce more of these chemicals, which leads to the feeling of runner's high. Some of these chemicals also have the effect of blocking pain, which explains why people experiencing the high can keep exercising through physical discomfort.
Question 9. What point does the professor make about psychological factors? Question 10. What does the professor say about persistence hunting? Question 11. Listen again to part of the lecture.
So, what are the evolutionary origins of runner's high? There is no consensus on this, but one plausible theory is that the origins lie deep in human history.
Why does the professor say this?
There is no consensus on this.
Listen to a conversation between a student and his professor.
Do you have a moment, Professor?
Sure, Brian. Is everything okay?
Well, I'm a bit confused about the ideas you discussed in class a few days ago. I thought I understood the concepts, but when I started doing the additional reading you mentioned, I realized that I'd misunderstood some of the ideas.
I see. Well, what did the teaching assistant for the class say when you spoke to her? Couldn't she help?
I tried to see her, but apparently she's away for a few days. I was going to wait a couple of days and talk with her when she gets back, but I was concerned that I'd fall behind.
Well, I can try to clear up the points that confuse you this time, but I'm not sure that's the best way to help you.
What do you mean?
Don't take this the wrong way, but I've been teaching this class for a few years now, and one thing I've found is that students who rely on me or the TA for help often do poorly in the final exam, but students who work things out for themselves do much better in my experience.
I agree that it would be better if I could understand it on my own, but I honestly tried to do that. I did the reading you assigned, but the more I read, the less sense everything made. So, I guess I'm not sure what else I could have done.
Have you thought about joining a study group with some other students from the class? I know you're not the only one who's finding some of the concepts challenging.
I typically work alone because I like to study while listening to music, but perhaps this time it would help to work with others. I was in the library yesterday and met one other person in the class who's having trouble, though I think he's confused about different things than I am.
Then he sounds like exactly the kind of person you should be working with. If you each understand different aspects of the topic, you can help each other understand the concepts. Instead of joining an existing study group, perhaps the two of you could start your own.
Yeah, I see your point.
Did you still want me to go over the concepts you don't understand?
You know what? I'll try this study group idea first. If I still don't understand, I'll come speak to you or the teaching assistant. Is that okay?
I think that's a healthy attitude, Brian. Good luck.